Chapter 450. Alex dragged her to the shore as he reprimanded her coldly. Your parents are the ones who gave you your body, hair, and skin. Don't you think that you are letting your parents down by hurting yourself just because of a scumbag? The girl continued wailing, please, just let me die. Let me die now. I am just a dirty and impure person. I am too ashamed to face my parents now. I am only bringing them shame by staying alive. They will only be free when I am dead. Alex dragged her to the shore with ease before he finally threw her on the grass and yelled at her furiously, damn it. You should not only be living for yourself, but you should also be living for your parents. They worked so hard to raise you and nurture you until you became an adult. They watched over you as you grew up, and they provided for your education. You should not be committing suicide by jumping into a lake just because of a scumbag like him. You should become a talented pillar so that you could make your parents proud by contributing to the country and society instead. The few girls around her were also crying at this time as they persuaded her, Gia, why are you so stupid? Do you really think that it's worth hurting yourself just because of that scumbag? The girl called Gia broke down and kept crying as she said, I am so dirty. I feel so sorry toward him. If I do not die, he will also feel very tortured because of me. I do not want him to feel tortured at all. I want him to be happy. Alex could not help but frown at this time. It seemed as though Gia had been seriously brainwashed by the other party. Alex immediately said to the other girls, you should all step aside first. Let me chat with her privately for a short while. The other girls were a little hesitant, but Daisy was looking at Alex with eyes filled with admiration. After that, she quickly said to her classmates, let's step aside for a short while. We should let brother Alex try to persuade her. The other girls quickly nodded as soon as they heard Daisy's words, and they retreated a distance immediately. Gia was soaking wet as she sat on the muddy ground on the shore as she muttered to herself, let me die. A filthy woman like me does not deserve to be alive at all. I want to use my death to prove to Katsa that my feelings for him are real. Yes. I have to use my death to prove to him that I truly love him very much. Alex could tell that Gia was already very confused and her mind was in utter chaos. Someone must have repeatedly instilled this kind of psychological hint in her that she was dirty, filthy, and she deserved to die. Over time, she would unswervingly think that she was indeed a very filthy person who should be dead. This kind of psychological manipulation required more than half a year to deepen, ferment, and breed continuously. In other words, the scumbag had already been brainwashing her for more than half a year so that she would try to take her own life. Right then, Alex suddenly thought of a powerful psychological hypnosis technique that he had learned from the tragedy book. Thus, he gathered a little spiritual energy in his body and focused it on his fingertips before tapping Gia lightly on her forehead and saying, Gia, look at me. Gia was immediately hypnotized and she raised her head obediently to look at Alex. Alex asked, can you tell me what is going on? Gia replied blankly, I had a boyfriend when I was still a freshman, and I gave my virginity to him on impulse. After that, I met Katsa. He had been pursuing me for a long time and I really like him very much. However, he knows that I am not a virgin. He would feel very disgusted with me every time we have sexual intercourse and he will beat me, scold me, and say that I am a very filthy person. He would also say that I betrayed his trust and I am letting him down. Alex nodded slightly before he said in a supremely majestic tone, Gia, can you make sure that you remember and keep whatever I am going to say next in your mind for a lifetime until you die? You can never forget what I am going to say, okay? Gia had already been completely hypnotized by Alex, and Alex's hypnotism was assisted by spiritual energy. Hence, the intensity of his hypnosis far exceeded the psychological hint that the scumbag had been manipulating her with all this while. Gia hurriedly replied, yes, you can give me your orders. I will make sure that I go all out to fulfill it. Alex then said word by word, remember that what you did is what most couples in the world would naturally do. that is your own choice, and it is your own decision to make. It is not filthy at all, and your life is very precious in this world. Your life does not only belong to you alone, but it also belongs to your parents and everyone who truly loves and cares for you. A person who truly loves and cares for you would never persuade you to give up your life or ask you to die for them. So, you must remember to cherish your life in the future and stay away from scumbags. Continue being filial to your parents and make sure that you contribute to society in the future. Do you understand me?